Hi guys, my name is Patrick, but you can call me 26. And what we're going to do in this section is we are going to work on the screen where our user is going to get when they get a match, right? So if you're the second user in a match, you're going to get a screen when you match with someone, right? Now it's going to be accessible from two areas. That is going to be from our user view here. Like if you do this, you're going to get this, and you're going to get the confetti, and the confetti is going to disappear, and then you can keep swiping, right? Now let's have a look at that again. We do this and the confetti rains down on us. It's a couple of shapes and it disappears, right? And you will notice that all the elements spring into action, right? Like this one's moving from different directions. Everything like moves from a different direction. And then the hat flashes at you, right? So this is all that we're going to do. We're going to move in the string, the images of the particular match users. Currently, we're just using stand-in, or we will be connecting the database later on. And then we are having the two buttons moving into the screen, right? And it's, if you tap this, you dismiss it. And it's also accessible from when you swipe on a user, right? So when you swipe on a user like this, and for now, we are assuming that there's going to be a double coincidence of likes where you like them, they like you, right? So you do this and you get this, right? And then you get the glorious confetti raining on you. So if you want to learn how to do this, that's what you're going to be doing in this section, right? So like this video, subscribe to the channel, and let's get going. So what we're going to do is let's have a look at this. And this is what this section is going to be about. We're going to build this page. Now, when there's a coincidence of likes where you like that user and they like you back, we are going to get this match screen page or match screen, right? And what it's going to have is it's going to have the images of both users. Then there's going to be a lot of animation, like, but since we've already covered animations in depth, I'm not going to explain much about it. We're just going to move this button one way, move this button one way, move this heart image like this. Then we're going to also turn this, the user's images. This is one user, this is the other user, and then it's going to be you and the other user have matched. Of course, later on when we're getting data from Firebase, we're going to be putting the names into the actual string. So this is also going to move in, and then there is going to be this image background with we're going to have a blurred background that after the confetti falls and you tap on it, you could dismiss it. And also if you hit keep swiping, you're going to be able to dismiss it. And if you hit chat, you're going to go into a chat with that particular user. But that's going to be a bit later on, right? And of course, the confetti is going to take a lot of it's going to do a lot of the heavy lifting. Now the confetti, if I could describe it, it's going to be made up of four. Originally it was two elements, but I increased it to four. It's going to have a heart, a circle, and a rectangle, right? Here you can see the rectangle and the circle, and they're going to be on the foreground and the background. And we're going to talk about in depth of how you could make confetti and draw confetti on the screen, right? Now this is only going to be called when you and the other user actually match, right? So when you swipe to the right and they also swipe to the right, the second person is going to get this screen. The other person is just going to log in and see that in particular that they have a new match. They're going to get a notification, and then when they go to the particular match screen, they're going to get a new match. So this is going to show to the second person, right? The person who matched second, right? So this is the screen that they're going to show. The other person is just going to get it on their particular, among their match screens, right? So it's sort of like a punishment for matching fast, right? I was thinking maybe you could do this, like if you match fast and you log back in, you get this particular screen, right? That's one way you could do it. When I was building it, I thought that the second person should get this, right? So that when you match with them, right, and you really, really want to chat with them, and you hit chat, you're going to get come in and find a new message, right? If you're the first person who initiated the match, right? So that's one consideration, right? Those are some of the considerations that they take, and probably why testing is so important when you're building apps, right? But yeah, so if you're the first person to match, you probably are going to come back in and find that this guy immediately after matching with you, you're going to get a notification. But they can, maybe if they're really, really into you, they could slide in the DMs and initiate a chat. So when you come back, you're going to find a message, right? But enough about that. We're not yet at messaging. Let's get to where we are, right? So we left it at the user view controller. Let's just run this, make sure that everything is as it should be, or as we left it, right? So we come here and we do this, and we are going to get, okay, yeah, when you like now, nothing happens. But what we want is, since we're testing, when you like a user, we're not going to, since we don't have the Firebase set up yet. So when you like a user, you're going to get the match screen, right? Okay, so what we want to do is one thing you would notice, let's just run this and we can see it again. One thing you'll notice is that the ability to get that match screen should be available in two different areas, right? If you like a user here, you should get the match screen if they like you, right? And also if you go here and you come to this particular heart and you like a user here, you should be able to also match with them, right? So that those are two options. You could either match with them here or you could match with them here, right? So since we can do it in both places, you know what that means? That means that we have to, it would be, or rather, we could do it on both places, but we could put it in an extension so that it's available for every single user view controller. Now, another thing I'm thinking of is also doing it in the matches screen, right? When you have rejected someone and you change your mind and you like them and they like you, and you should also be able to see it here. So maybe you can even call it here, right? So that's another idea. Although this page I had originally done it with UIKit, I've decided to do it with Swift UI. So yeah, so we'll also be calling it from there. If or rather, that's a decision I'm going to make in the future and decide on it, right? So that's another possibility. So because we can call it in multiple places, we intended on calling it in at least two places. Let us get to it. So we want the view controller. Here it is, right? So let's just get this right. Okay, right? So what we want is to come here and we say func, and this is going to be show matched screen, like so. And we're just going to say let VC is going to be let's say this is going to be matched. Oh, we haven't created it, right? So let's come here, hit controllers, command N. This is going to be a Swift file. We're going to build it from scratch. What's it going to be called? It's going to be called matched view controller. Hit that, that's done. Come here, need to import UIKit, like so. Come here, say class that. We've done this a billion times. Oh, it feels like it's a billion times. It's only been a couple, like, okay, more than 10 times. We've done it more than 10 times, right? So it should feel like a billion times, right? And view did load. That view dot background color is going to be system. Let's go with something like system. Let's go with that, right? So that is done. That is done. That is done. Okay. What is the next thing that we need to do? The next thing that we need to do is need to call it here, right? Come here, say matched view controller, like so, right? So that's going to be our matched view controller, like so. And we're going to say let nav, or whatever you want to call it, and this is just going to be UI navigation controller, and the root view controller is going to be VC, like so. And this is going to be nav dot modal presentation style, and this is going to be dot full screen, like so. Then we're going to come in and say self dot present. This is going to be nav, and animated. Animation is always good, so we say true like that, right? So, and then here we're going to have badges. So just to remind us that we've not done that, right? We're going to have badges, like we want the other user to know, like, yeah, we're going to put badges, right? So we're going to talk about that when we actually get there. Right now, the next thing we want to do is, you will notice that our navigation, our presentation is going to be modally, and it's going to be full screen, right? So let's get to it. So how we do that is pretty straightforward. Let's go to where do we call it? When you like a user, right? When you match the user, right? So instead of printing I like you here in the user view controller, we're just going to come in and we say let's do that, right? So let's go with the first, this part where you actually like a user and then see it. Okay, come here, do this. Oh, it's not here, it's actually here. Like them, and you're going to get a mint screen, right? Now let's do it for the other place. The other place is going to be the, is it the matched? No, that's not the matched view. match controller, right? It's going to be the match controller. And whenever we like the user, where do we like the user? When we move it to the right. So where? When it ends, here where we remove if the translation is greater than 80 and it's positive, what we want to do here is come here and we say show match screen, right? So we do that. Let's run this, make sure everything is as it should be, and we can proceed from there, right? So if we do this, we also get the screen, right? So we should also test the opposite, right? Maybe it also works. We probably know it doesn't, but let's just make sure. So let's first swipe to the left and see if anything happens. Swipe to the left, nothing happens. Swipe to the right, something happens. So you can even work on characters that are like cards that are behind the first one. So it works. Let's run it again and then see if it works with the user view controller, because we don't yet have a way of dismissing the screen, right? So let's come here because it's full screen, right? We want it to occupy all the. If you didn't do it full screen and you made it only modally, which is another design choice you could make, right? These are all design choices that I'm making. You could pick one, you could pick the other, right? So if you made it modal, it won't take the entire screen, so it's going to be dismissible, right? I don't want it to be dismissible, but you could make it dismissible, right? You could argue that after it matches, maybe somebody wants to continue swiping, but we also give them an option, right? You will notice here we have this option of keep swiping, which is going to dismiss the screen. And after dismissing the screen, you can keep swiping, right? So that's another option we're going to give it. So yeah, let's just test it and make sure everything is as it should be. And then we can proceed, right? Okay, so let's come here. And this doesn't work. I dislike you. This works, right? So now we know that our match screen is being called in the right places. And for now, our page is showing. Now let's work on making the page look like what our plans were. Now what you're going to notice is that these two images look exactly the same, right? So we could create a function that could create an image like this and then pass off an image to use there, right? So what you're going to do for that is, since it's only going to be used here, we're going to come here and say something like func, and this one is going to be called create user avatar, and this is just going to return a UI image view like so, right? So we have the UI image view like so, and we're just going to say the IV is going to be UI image view like so, and then we're going to come here and we say iv.content mode, and what's the content mode going to be? It's going to be .scale aspect fill, and we say iv.clips to bounds, and this is going to be true. Maybe give it a bit of border. We say iv.layer.border width, that's going to be 2. Then come here and we say iv.layer.border color, and that's going to be UI color dot white dot CG color like so. iv.set size, that's going to be 150 by 150, and you noticed that it's round, so you know what comes next. iv.layer.corner radius 150 by 2, you could just write here 75. That means it's going to be round, and we need the actual image, so we're saying iv.image, and this is just going to be UI image like so, and this is going to be named. And what's the name? We're going to make the name Liverpool, right? And it's going to complain because you're not returning it, right? So we say return iv. So that's going to be that. The next thing would be, we would probably need a lazy var that is going to have the particular user, right? So what we would like to do is couple of users. So we're going to say just a lazy var. We say lazy var current user user avatar, and that's going to be this functionality, create user avatar, and then you're going to say lazy var we're going to have user avatar avatar, right? That's the other user. You could give it a more descriptive name. For now, we're just going to say that, and we're going to do this, right? Now we have in particular our 2 users. Then after that, we need a logo, right? The logo, what's the logo? Let's just explain. The logo is this, the heart, basically, right? Or any logo that means something to you. So we say that logo, and logo is going to be UI image view, like so. Come here, do this, that, come here, say this is going to be, let iv is going to be UI image view, like so. Have the UI image view, then come here and we say iv.image, and this is going to be UI image, and we're going to have a system name here. System name is going to be heart.circle. Ignore I'm getting emails. The background, right? Come here. What's the next thing? Is going to be iv.tint color, and this is going to be .system purple, right? So we have system purple, like so, and then we say iv.set size. Set size, the height is going to be 100 and the width is going to be 100, and then we're just going to come here and we say return iv, right? So that's done. Okay, that is more or less done, and we can actually proceed from there. Now we have our logo and we have that, and the next thing we need to do is we're going to create we're going to have a function that is going to create a particular button, right? The buttons that we use here. Let's just have a look at them. Here it is, right? So we're going to have this and this, right? And we need to create that. So that's what you're going to do next. Okay, now, one thing you'll notice is that the functionality of these 2 buttons is, they look exactly the same, but they just call different functions, right? They have an SF symbol, they have the bouncy clickiness, and they have the bouncy clickiness. They have different colors, right? And different text. So we could recreate this same button. And if you can remember with our code, think back to when we created or used, the particular, the, what's it called? The auth buttons, right? The auth buttons work exactly the same, except that they're all black, right? They have SF symbols, different SF symbols, the clickiness, and they call different functions, right? So since all this is exactly the same, there is no sense in us creating a function that does this specific feature, right? We could just modify the auth button, make it more even, more reusable, right? So let's come to extensions. Let's come here, say Command F, look for auth. Okay, not that, but the auth button, right? Now you see the auth button is exactly the same, except that the base background color here is black. We want it to be multiple, right? And also not to affect the ones that we have already created. So how we would do that is we would come here and say something like color, add another parameter, and this is going to be of type UI color, and then default it to black, right? So if you don't pass this in, make it black, right? Then come here and say this is going to be of type color, right? Now this is going to work, and to check this, let's make sure that it actually works with the buttons that we already created. And for that, we need to come to our scene delegate, and what we want to do here is let's come here and we say login controller. Let's just see that login controller, right? Login controller, like so, right? Now if we have the instead of that, let's come here and we say uncomment this to come here like so, and then make this the login controller, right? Login controller, right? So we have the login controller there, and then come here and we say we're going to have the wrapped VC, right? So that if this is the case, our buttons should look exactly the same. The buttons for the login, the forgot, and the other one, right? They look good, right? Login looks good. Reset looks good, I guess. It was a question mark, okay? Register looks good, right? So it works exactly the way it did, right? Now let's come back here and just do go with the main tab and comment that out, right? Now we know it's going to work. Now we want to create the actual buttons that we are going to use on this particular page, right? So what that is going to look like, it's just going to call the auth button. We call the auth button, and then we give it different colors. We're going to make it pink and green, right? So these are okay. This is actually pink and green. So let's do that. Let's come to our matched view controller like so. And what we're going to do here is we would like to say lazy var. This one is going to be called keep swiping button, and this is going to be create auth button, and we're going to use this one. The title here is going to be keep swiping like so. The selector doesn't exist, hashtag selector. Objective C, this is going to be tap to dismiss. The image in question is going to be bolt.heart. I don't know what tells you keep it moving. Bolt.heart. For me, that was bolt.heart, and the color is going to be .system pink, right? So next we would need to get the swipe to dismiss, and that's just going to be an Objective-C method. Let's come down here, say something like at Objective-C func, and this one is going to be called tap to dismiss like so, right? Come here, do this, and we're just going to print dismissed for now, right? Let's run this and see that this is actually working. Let's run this. Come here. Oh, we haven't put it on the screen. We need to put it on the screen first, and then we'll see it, right? So we'll do that and proceed from there. Now we have the keep swiping button. We need the other button, right? And that's just going to be the lazy var, and this one is going to be called the go to chat button, right? And it's going to be the create auth button, and we want this one. And this one, the title is going to be chat, and the selector is going to be hashtag selector, doesn't exist yet. And this one is going to be called handle chat. Come here, say handle chat like so. And the image in question, is going to be text.bubble, right? Text.bubble, right? And the color in question is going to be system green. So we say system green, not gray, green, right? So we have these two buttons, and then we have the describe label, and the describe label is just going to be this, right? You and sad you have matched, right? So we need that. So we come here and we say lazy var. This one is going to be called description label, and this is going to be UI label. We have already seen that one. We want this one, right? And the text in question is going to be, for now, it's going to be you and Sadio have matched, right? With an exclamation mark to seem more optimistic, a bit like an American. System.font of size and weight. Let's say this is going to be 25, like so. Weight is going to be bold, like so. Then come here and we say, put a comma, say the text color. Text color is going to be white, like so. Then the text alignment is going to be center, like so. And the number of lines is going to be 1, right? So that's that. And oh, it's complaining it doesn't have handle chat. So we don't have a handle chat. Let's sort that out. Come here, say at Objective-C func, and this is going to be called handle chat. And what's handle chat? Handle chat is just going to be we're going to come here and we say print. What do we want to print? We want to print chatting, right? That's done. For now, we have everything sorted. What more do we need? I think we have more or less everything. Let's put everything on the screen. We can see it, right? So that you can see it. No, we don't have the blur view, right? So for the blur view, we need a particular visual effect, and the visual effect, let's just create it. Come here and say something like let visual effect, and the visual effect is going to be UI visual effect view, like so. And the effect in question is going to be UI blur effect, and the style is going to be .system chrome material like so, right? That's going to be our usual our visual effect, right? And now we could create a function that could set up this particular blur view. So we're going to come here and we say after this, come here, come say func. It's going to be called set up blur. What setup blur view going to do? It's going to be view dot add sub view. We could use the sub view because it's only going to be one, and this is just going to be visual effect. And we want it to fill the entire thing. We could just come in and say visual effect dot fill super view, right? So that's basically that. You could also, if you want, cut this and put them in the view did load, right? That's one way we could do it. But let's just see that first, right? So we come here and we say get rid of this and say set up blur view, right? Let's run it and see it. Let's run it and see it and make sure that it's working as it should. Come here, do this, and we do get the blur view. Okay, run this. Let's do it again for the other one so that we can know that we're getting it in both. Come here, do this, and we do get, this is our blur view. Okay, our blur view is working as it should. Now, the next thing to do would be to put everything on the screen, right? And so we come here and we say configure UI, and configure UI doesn't exist yet. So we come here and we say func configure UI, like so, right? So we now need to configure our UI. And configure UI is going to be, we come here and we say view dot add sub plural. We want the one where we can put multiple. We say logo, like so, description label, like so, keep swiping button, like so, current user avatar, go to chat button. Now we have everything, and let's put the logo first. We say logo dot anchor, like so, and this is just going to be the top dot safe area dot there. Let's put one by one, right? And the reason for this is I think this is one of going to be, if I'm not mistaken, this is going to be one of the last places we're going to have a chance to actually put views on our screen. For the next ones, for the messaging, we're going to be using MessageKit, so there's not going to be a lot of that. This is going to be the last large place we're going to have a chance to do this. So let's put them one by one, have a look at them, because in the next places, we're going to switch to Swift UI a bit. Yeah, this is the last place, so let's appreciate it, because this is I think we're more than 10 hours in now. So yeah, so we're going to have the logo, and we're going to come here and say view dot safe area layout guide dot top anchor, like so, and the padding at the top, padding top is just going to be 60, right? So let's do that, and let's see this. Oh, we're not centering it. I just forgot. We're not centering the logo. So let's do that and then center the logo. Come here, do this. It's here, center it, right? So come here, say logo.center, center X on the X-axis in the view. And the view in question is just going to be the view. Let's do that, and we center it in the view, and then we proceed. Let's see that. So let's come here, swipe this, right? Okay, it's there. Now, what's the next view we need to worry about? Description label, right? Let's do the description label, and then we come here and we say this is going to be description label dot anchor, like so, and this is just going to be the top is going to be the logo dot bottom anchor. The leading is going to be the view dot leading anchor. The padding at the top is going to be 15, right? And we need to center it also in the view, right? So description label dot center X. What's the view? The view is going to be the view, right? Do this. Let's see this in question. And I'm going to assume, I'm not going to check on both of them, whether it's here and also the other one, right? Whether it's here and also on the other page, right? You and side you have matched because they're calling the same view, right? So the description label works. What's the next thing we need to do? Current user avatar, right? Come here, say current user avatar, like so, right? And now current user avatar dot anchor, and this is going to be trailing we're going to put them smack bang on the screen, right? So they're going to be here on the screen, right? So what we're going to do is the trailing is going to be the view center anchor, right? We're just going to do that, and then the leading, so that they're next to each other. The trailing is going to be the view center X and the view, so that you can put them smack bang in the middle, right? So this is what we're going to use to anchor them, right? The X, the middle point, right? So the trailing here for the current user avatar, and it depends, who do you want to show on the side? Right now you can't tell who is who, but we want the logged in user to be on the left and the user they've matched in to be on the right, so that it can make sense, particularly with our sentence you and X have matched, right? So this is going to be you and this is going to be sad you, or the other party, right? So the trailing here is going to be the view dot center X anchor. Padding trailing is going to be 8, right? Like so, and we need to center on the y-axis. So we come here and say current user avatar dot center center y, and this is going to be like so, center y in view. And this is going to be the view, right? Just that. Run this, see it in action. Come here, okay. Do this, and we have this particular view. Okay, we are not getting the particular user, right? So okay, we didn't capitalize the Liverpool, right? So that's the problem. I was wondering what the problem is. So let's run this, make sure it works. Okay, do this, and that's going to be the one on that. And for the other thing, what we need to do is the other user in particular is going to be user avatar. So let's add him. So let's come here and say user avatar, like so. And this one is just going to be come here and say user avatar. And what do we want with the user avatar? We want to say dot anchor. And what's the anchor? The anchor, the user avatar, the leading is going to be the view dot center X anchor, and padding leading is going to be 8, like so. And we're going to say user avatar dot anchor, like so. And no, center Y, right? User avatar dot center Y in view. What's the view? The view is going to be the view, right? So we do that, and because it's trailing and leading. Okay, let's just run this, and we should see it on the other side, right next to this other user, right? So do this, come here, and you see the two users are next to each other, right? Of course, we wanted to animate, so that's not how it's all going to be. Now we need the go to chat button and the keep swiping button. And what I should do is I should give you like I'm going to give you 10 seconds to do it. I'm going to count to 10 and then I'm going to do it. But this is one of your last chances to practice this, but it's pretty straightforward. Just go get it and maybe put it like a considerable amount of space below the user avatar, right? So put them below the user avatar or the current user avatar. I don't think it matters. You could put go to chat below the user avatar, and then the keep swiping below that, so that they can form that relationship, right? That should be how you put them in relation to each other, right? So put this below either this or this, and then put the keep swiping below chat, right? So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Let's get to it, right? So what we want is going to be the go to chat, right? So we come here and say go to chat button, like so. And what we want is to come here and say go to chat button, and we can pick either to anchor it, right? Anchor, and what's the anchor going to be? For us, the top is going to be the user avatar dot bottom anchor, like so. And the leading is going to be the view dot leading anchor, and the trailing is going to be the view dot trailing anchor, right? So we do that, and then we put the padding at the top. Padding at the top is going to be 2.4 for me. You can put something different. Padding leading is going to be 3.2. padding trailing, I believe is going to be 3.2, right? Okay, we do this. Let's make sure everything is as it should be. Come back here, see it, and do this, and that's going to be go to chat. Ooh, I don't like how light the button is, right? This one is a bit more pronounced. This one is particularly light. This one is particularly light, right? We could maybe we could either choose to make it bold, or let's just have a look at auth button, right? Let's come here, create auth button. Look if you can thicken them, right? So we have container like so, and we have the image padding configuration image, right? Let's come here and we say with configuration, and this is just going to be k configuration, right? Let's do that and see what that looks like. Okay, come here, do this. It's going to be thicker. Let's just make sure it also looks good on the other one. Come here to the scene delegate, like so. Comment this out, make this login controller, make this login controller like so. Come here, say this is going to be wrapped VC, like so. Make sure everything is kosher. Come back here, run this. Okay, a bit thicker. Come here. Okay, go back, go here. Okay, slightly more thicker, a bit better. Come here and do our changes. Main tab bar, comment this out, right? That is working. Go back. Let's go to our match view controller. Run this. Let's see it with a bit more thickness in it. Okay, it's chat. It's better looking like what we had. You know, sometimes you just change change the code on the fly, right? I just decided to change it right now, not on my original notes, but we just keep on going. Right, what's the next one? The next one is going to be let's put the last one, right? The keep, whatever it's called, the keep. I'm forgetting the name. Keep. It's called the keep swiping button, right? Now we're going to put the keep swiping button, and for that, of course, it needs to we need to make sure that it's in relation, right? It's pretty straightforward. Okay, so what we could do is come here. Sorry, I was just getting my notes in order because I decided to make a change. And we say anchor like so, anchor, and this one is going to be the thing that was on top of it. The top is going to be the go to chat button, like so. Go to chat button, bottom anchor, like so. The leading is going to be the view dot leading anchor. Trailing anchor. Padding top is going to be 24. Padding leading is going to be 32. Padding trailing also going to be 32. Right, so we have that keep swiping button, anchor. Everything is as it should be. Everything is where it should be. Yeah, everything is as it should be. Everything is where it should be. Everything is good, right? So let us see it, make sure it works, and then after that figure out how we can animate it, right? Because okay, we are not adding it, right? I've seen the problem. The problem is we've already seen that problem, right? So if you come here to know that problem, you just see that unable to activate constraint, right? So it's trying to activate the constraint, and the problem is that that's not on the, they don't have a common ancestor. That means that you have not put it on the screen, right? So just go to your view, add subviews, and add it in particular, right? Come here. Okay, do that, and now we have our keep swiping, which says chatting, and here says dismissed, right? Okay, so that is good, and what we want to do is when we hit this, we want to dismiss it, right? So let's just come here and say, instead of just saying dismiss, we should come in and say self.dismiss, and animated is going to be true, right? We do that, tab to dismiss, and let's come here, see if it works. keep swiping, and it's dismissed. Keep swiping, it works, right? So that is done. Where else do we call it? Let's figure that out. We call it in the user view controller, right? No, it's going to work on either. We don't need to call it here. I was just thinking of where we would call it here, right? So let's come here, keep swiping, and we dismiss it. Keep swiping, and we dismiss it. Keep swiping, and we dismiss it. Now we can dismiss it from either location, right? Now, one thing we want to do is we would like to animate our views, right? So let's animate our views, because right now they're just looking plain. Let's animate them. And that's what you're going to do next. Now, let's animate our views. I think this is the last major place we're going to animate. So let us save it, right? So what we want to do is, unless you count the animations that are in SwiftUI, right? This is the last major place we're doing animations in UIKit. We will do animations in SwiftUI shortly, if I could put it like that, right? So what we want to do is come to above the view did load. And then what you're going to do is we're going to say view will appear like so. Call the super view will appear like so. Come here, say logo dot move view like so, and come here and we say y is going to be negative, let's say 400 like so, and then we say alpha is going to be 0, right? We've already seen that. And then maybe move it back into view so that you can see it. So we come here and we say call the super like so, and we're just going to say logo dot animate with spring. We want it with spring, right? The duration is going to be 1.4. The initial velocity is going to be 0.4. The spring dumping is going to also spring dumping is going to be 0.3, right? Like so. Let's see it in action. Come here, do this, and hopefully you can see it in action. Okay, do this, and that's going to be that. Okay, so that's going to be that. Let's go to jump to definition of this, right? Okay, right? So it's supposed to, although we can't notice it, right? It's supposed to get more visible as it comes down, but it happens so fast you can barely see it, right? So that's going to be that, right? Now, when that happens, next is we want it to flash. So come here and say, after you're done with that, flash, right? Okay, do this. So and then we see it flash, and we've already gone through over flash. Okay, that's flash, right? Now the next thing we need to do is we need to move the go to chat button, right? So let's come here and we say go to chat button, and we're just going to say move view, and on the x we wanted to move it on the y axis. So y is going to be negative 600. Alpha is going to be 0, right? Alpha is going to be 0, like so. And we're going to come here and we say go to chat button, like so. Go to chat button, and we want to animate it with spring dot animate with spring. Duration, what's the duration? Duration is going to be 1.4. Initial velocity is going to be go to chat button. Initial velocity is going to be 0.1, like so. Spring dumping is going to be 0.4, right? So go to chat button is going to be 1.4. Do we have a delay? Let's put a delay, right? Delay in question is going to be 0.3. Then put a comma there, and that's going to be it, right? So let's see our go to chat button. The duration 1.4, delay 0.3, spring dumping 0.4, initial velocity that. Okay, let's see this, right? Okay, that's done. Let's do the same for the other button, but keep it the opposite of this, right? So that they can be mirror images of each other, right? So this is going to be keep swiping button, move view, y is going to be 600, like so. Alpha is going to be 0, like so. And come here and say keep swiping button, and this is going to be animate with spring. I think it's going to look exactly like that one, so let's just come here. We can just type it out. Animate with spring. Duration is going to be 1.4. Initial velocity is going to be maybe the delay can be slightly greater, right? Let's put a delay of delay is going to be 0.2, comma. Initial velocity is going to be 0.1. Spring dumping is going to be also the same, so it's going to be 0.4, right? So we do this and we run this, and okay, let's just run it again, or keep swiping, come here, see them. Okay, so they sort of interact, and you can, okay, there's a lot going on the screen and there's about to be a bit more. So yeah, but yeah, you can see how they do it, right? So it's going to be that, and then the opposite direction where they're moving from, right? I think we've already gone over this. What is the next thing we need to do is going to be we now need to move the user avatar and the current user avatar, right? So let us actually do that. So let's come here, and since we're going to be reusing it, let's just put the angle here. We say let angle, the angle that they're going to be twisting in, and this is going to be 90 multiplied by CG float dot pi, and we're going to divide this by 180, right? So we're going to call it here because we're going to use it in a bit, right? And what we want to do is we would want to move the current user avatar and the user avatar, right? So let's come here and say current user avatar, and we need to move it, so we say dot move view. X is going to be on the x-axis. This is going to be 400, like so, and alpha is going to be 0, and like so. And then you're going to say here current user avatar dot move view dot transform, and this is just going to be CG affine transform, and this is going to be with the rotation angle. Rotation angle is going to be minus angle, right? Okay, and we come here and we say current user avatar animate with spring. Duration is going to be 1.4. Initial velocity is going to be 0.2. Spring dumping is going to be 0.4. And the delay, let's see, current user avatar duration is going to be 1.4. Initial velocity is going to be 0.2. Spring dumping is going to be 0. We need a delay, right? Come here and say delay. What's the delay going to be? The delay is going to be 0.3, right? So let's do that. Let's see it in action, right? Okay, right. Okay, you can see it animate like so, right? So as we have done this in that direction, let's do this in the opposite direction, right? So let's come here and say something like user avatar, or whatever we called it, right? User avatar dot move view. This is going to be on the x-axis. We're going to do it negative 400 in the opposite direction, and the alpha is going to be 0, like so. Then we come here and we say user avatar dot transform, and this is going to be CG affine transform, like so. And the rotation angle, right? The rotation angle is going to be angle, right? The opposite. And then we come here and we say user avatar, like so, and we say dot animate animate with spring like so, and the duration is going to be 1.4. The initial velocity is going to be 0.2, the same. Spring dumping is going to be 0.4. The delay is what is going to be different, right? Come here, say delay like so. What's the delay? The delay is going to be 0.4, right? Or let's make it 0.2, right? And then put a comma there. Run this. Okay, so you see them, and it's hard to notice exactly how they all keep getting there, right? And now the only thing we have not animated, aside from the confetti, which will start falling in a bit, is the description label. So we need to animate the description label, right? So for the description label, I'm going to let you do whatever you want with it, but I'm just going to move it by -600, and then we're just going to animate it to identity, right? So that is going to be that, and we're just going to say here, move view, like so, move view. And this is going to be X, is going to be -600, like so. Alpha will be 0. And then we're just going to come here and we say description label dot animate to identity. And the duration is going to be 1, like so, right? So let's see that. Keep your eyes on the string, right? Or make it something that you think is attractive, right? So that's just going to come in like so, right? Okay, so that is all we are going to, and those are all the animations that are going to be, right? So everything basically animates on the screen, and then the confetti will start raining down on us, right? Now, getting the confetti on the screen is going to be a bit of work, but let's get to it. So that's what we're going to do next. So the next thing we need to do is, let's come here to views, and I'm going to create the confetti type in, among the views. We could hit command N, come here, this is going to be a Swift file. It's going to be called confetti type, right? And it's going to be exactly what you think it is, right? It's going to be a type of confetti. And this is going to be, we import UIKIT, like so. Make this a class. This is going to be confetti type. We can't make this a struct because of, there are going to be changes to it during initialization. So it needs to be a class, right? It can't be a struct. So it's going to have 3 things. It's going to be made up of 3 things. It's going to have the color. You can see that there are multiple colors. There's a bluish, a purplish, yellowish, a reddish. There are going to be multiple colors, multiple shapes. You can see here circles and rectangles. We're also going to add triangles and hearts, right? And then there's going to be a position. Some of them are more in the foreground, some are in the background, right? Which you've already seen, right? So you're going to come here and say let color, and color is going to be of type UI, color like so. Then we're going to say let shape, and shape is going to be confetti shape. Then we're going to say let position, and position is going to be confetti position, right? And then we have init like so. All done, thanks to, I think this came with either this Xcode or the previous one, either this one or the previous one, I'm not sure exactly, right? Helps you out with all that. Then we're going to have lazy var. This is going to be image, and image is going to be of type like so. Come here, do this, and what we're going to have is going to be let image rect, and this is going to be CG rect like so. Come here, do this, right? And we're going to switch on the shape. Switch. This is going to be shape like so. And right now we only have 1. And here we're just going to return. We return CG rect. We want this. We want 0, 0. Width is going to be let's say 8. Height is going to be 5, right? 8 by 5. Make them a bit smaller than original. Come here. Do this, right? Okay. Now, afterwards, why is it complaining? We have this. Okay, I got it. We're supposed to do this, right? Okay. It's going to stop complaining. We have the UI image, then we have the CG rect, and oh, okay, I get why it's complaining, right? We come here and we say UI graphics render graphics begin image context and size, right? So we do this, and then we say image rect dot size, right? Like so, and then we say let context is going to be UI graphics get current context, like so. And after that, we're just going to say context dot set fill color, and this is just going to be the color, and we want the core graphic color, like so, right? And after that, we need to switch on the shapes depending on the shape, right? So we come here and we say switch shape, and right now we only have rectangle, right? And this is just going to be the context. Okay, get that? And that's going to be the context. And we want to fill. What do we want? We want the image rect, right? Image rect, like so, right? Like so, and okay, so that's done. And then at the end of all this, what we want is after the shape, we want to say image is going to be UI graphics image graphics get image from current image context, like so. And then we say UI graphics image graphics and image context, like so. And then we just need to return it. We come here and we say return image, right? So that's going to be that. For now, it's just going to be the rectangles, and this is still complaining, right? So let's go back up here and see what the matter is. What's the matter? So this is going to be that. Okay. And we come here, do this. We're forgetting to put closure here, and our error will go away. Okay, we have banished our error. Now let's get it. Let's see our rectangles raining down on us, right? So we're going to come up here in the matched view controller, and we're just going to say var confetti types, like so. And this is going to be confetti type. And we're going to come here, and what we want to do is going to be let confetti colors, and this is going to be an array of colors. And now we're just going to have an array here, right? And we are going to say it's going to be filled with tuples, right? And this is going to be R is going to be 149. G is going to be 58. And B is going to be 255, right? So come here, hit Command D. The next one is going to be 255. This is going to be 195. The last one is going to be 41, right? 41, right? Command D. The next one, 255. The next one is going to be 101. So these are the various colors that you actually see on the screen, right? You could play around with them. I got this online of various colors that I thought were really, really good. So pick a number of colors that you want, as many as you want. And I'm just going to keep on doing this. And this is going to be, the next one is going to be 123, 92 to 55. So this is going to be 123. And this is going to be 92, and this is going to be 255. We're going to put a comma, hit Command D. The next one is going to be 76. 76. This one is going to be 122. You could define it, and then after you define it, so that calling the tuple, it helps you as you're doing it, right? That would save you a bit of time, but since you're already in the thick of things, let's just do that, right? So let's do that. That's going to be that. This one is going to be 176, 120, 76, 126 actually, 126, and then 255, right? And then after that we hit Command D. That's going to be 71, 71, 192, 192, and then 255, right? Then we come down here, hit this. This is going to be 255, 255, and 255. This is going to be 47, 47, right? 47, and 47, and then this one is going to be 39, right? Come here. This is going to be 39, right? Come here, hit Command D, and this is going to be 255. Then we're going to have 91, 91, and this is going to be 134, right? 134, right? Then Command D, come here. This is going to be 233, 233, and this is going to be 122, 122, and then this is going to be 208, 208, right? 208. So that, I think, is all of them. And what we'd like to do is come here and remap them to dot map, hit enter. And what we would like to do is come here and say for the map, we're just going to have UI let's get rid of all this code, right? And use $sign notation. Let's use $sign notation. Come here, say UI color, like so. And this is going to have red, like so, right? So the red is going to be $0.R, like so, divide by 255. And the green is going to be the same, just $0.G, divide by 255. The blue is going to be $0.B, divide by 255. The alpha is going to be 1, right? Now that's going to be all our colors. And after the map, what we want to do is come here and be return. Okay, let's just come here and say return an array. We could come here and say we're just going to have an array of confetti position, the enum, and we want background, and we want the same confetti position dot foreground, right? So we have the background and foreground. Then we come here and we say we want to use a flat map on this. Flat map, hit this, and we're just going to say position in. And here, what we want now, after you get the position, after you map those colors and map them to the background or the foreground, we just want to return confetti shape dot rectangle, and to that we would like to flat map it again. Hit enter, and this is going to be shape in, and this is going to be return confetti colors dot map. Hit enter. Do this. This is going to be color in, and what we're going to return eventually is going to be return. And what do we want to return? We want to return the confetti type. The confetti type, and this is just going to be color, shape, and confetti type, right? So this is going to be the color, is going to be the color up here. The shape is going to be the shape here. The position is going to be the position, right? So we do this, and at the end of this, let's see. Do this, right? That is done, and now, are we getting this? I thought we sorted that out, right? So the next thing we need to do is we want the confetti layer, right? So let's come here and we say another lazy var. This one is going to be called confetti layer, and this is going to be CA emitter layer, like so. Come here, do this, right? And what that's going to be is it's going to be let emitter layer is going to be CA emitter layer, like so. And here it's going to be emitter layer dot emitter cells, and this is going to be confetti. We could get that on the confetti cells, right? What do you call it? Oh, we didn't create the confetti cells, have we? Okay, we haven't created the confetti cells. So what we do, I thought we had done that. Let's just create our confetti cells. Since they're going to be here, let's just create them here. So we come here and we say lazy var, and this is going to be confetti cells, like so. And these are going to be a type of CA emitter cell, like so. Come here, do this, come here. And we're just going to return, what are we going to return? Confetti types dot map, hit enter, and this is just going to be confetti type, like so, in. And what are we going to have here? It's going to be let cell is just going to be CA emitter cell. That's done. Then we say cell dot begin time. When it begin, it's going to be 0.1. So these are the various cells of the rectangle that are going to appear on the screen. And then we're going to come in and we say cell dot birth rate, that's going to be 25. And then it's going to be cell dot contents confetti type dot image dot CG image, right? And we say cell dot emission range, that's going to be CG. I got all these values, right, from, and we're going to play around with them in a bit, right? Double dot pi, right? So we're going to play around with them a bit and see them. Cell dot lifetime, how long you see it, that's going to be 10, not 19, but 10. Let's go with 10. 10 is enough. Say cell dot spin, cell dot spin range, cell dot velocity range, cell dot y acceleration, cell dot set value. For keys, this is going to be set value, right? And this is going to be plain. And here we're going to say for key, and this is going to be particle type, like so. And then you're going to say cell.set value, and this is going to be something like double.pi, like so. And this is going to be, for the key, is going to be orientation range, like so. Hit command D. The next one is going to be double pi divided by 2, orientation longitude, hit command D. This is going to be double pi over 2. This is going to be latitude, right? Instead of just longitude, we have longitude and latitude, right? So that's going to be that, and we just return it, right? Come here, return cell, and what we're going to do here is, let's see, okay, so we have that, and here we can come back to our confetti layer now, and here we're going to have confetti cells, like so, and we're going to say where we want our emitter to be. Emitter layer dot emitter position, and this is going to be CG point, and this is going to be X, is going to be view, dot bounds dot mid x, y is going to be view dot bounds dot min y minus 250, right? So what we want it to be is it's just going to be above, the position is going to be just above the phone, right? Okay, so we have the emitter layer. It's just going to be above the phone. We're going to see exactly how we're going to play around with it so that you can see it. So it's going to be, next is going to be emitter layer dot emitter size, right? And this is just going to be core graphic size, and the width is just going to be the entire bounds, view dot bounds dot size dot width, and height is going to be about 500, right? And then you're going to say emitter layer dot emitter shape, and this is going to be dot what should it look like? Should it be a circle? Should it be a rectangle? We're going to emit them from a rectangle, right? Although we could also play around with that and see what it looks like. And then come here and you say emitter layer dot frame, and this is just going to be view dot bounds, like so, and we just want to return, right, emitter layer, right? So that is going to be that. And the next thing we need to do is we would need to rain confetti down, right? So let's just rain confetti. Let's come here on our functionality. Where is the function, right? After this, we just want to come here and say func, and this is going to be called rain confetti, right? Confetti. And what we're going to do here is just say dispatch dispatch queue, like so, and dot main dot async after async after deadline, and deadline is going to be, we want dot now plus, let's say 1.5, right? Remember, I think by this time when it starts raining the confetti, all the elements will be on the screen after 1.5 seconds, right? Because that's the longest duration is about 1.4 of our other animations. Then it's just going to be the heart that is flashing, but then this is going to rain confetti after we have seen that. So we're going to see all the animations, then the confetti is going to rain. It's not going to be immediately, right? Then we come here and we hit enter. We could just put a closure, right? Come here, do this, come here, say this is going to be self in, come here and say self dot view dot layer dot add sublayer dot add sublayer, and what's that? It's going to be confetti layer, right? So let's do this and see this, right? We probably next thing would be to make sure that it's on the screen, and for that we could just call the functionality, right? I think we can call it in the view did load. If we load the view, then or where do we call it? View did appear, right? Let's call rain confetti in the view did appear. It would make more sense, right? So let's come here and we say rain confetti, and we run this, and hopefully we have written a bit of code, not tried it out. Let's see how things work, right? So this, and then, so now this is what our code looks like, and I think they're a bit too tiny. They're a bit too tiny, right? So you see they're coming from the top here. Let's make it a sphere and see if we can notice a difference, because I've played around with making the object that they're being emitted from a sphere, and it isn't as well. I can tell the difference, right? Or the difference is not very plain. Where is it? Yes, here, right? So let's make it a sphere. Okay, let's run this again. The default was rectangle, and swipe to the right, I don't see the difference. Okay, they're more concentrated in the middle. Circle. Okay, it's more spread out, right? And let's see rectangle. Try and see if you can. What are the other options? Cuboid. Let's see cuboid and then see point. Maybe we'll see a difference. Okay. Point. And then move it up and down. Make it smaller also. Okay. There's clearly a difference. When they come from the point, they're all in the center. When it's a rectangle, they're spread out, right? So that's why we go with the rectangle. Anyway, pick up something that you like, right? Pick up something you like. And but that, remember, has to do with the fact that we are releasing them from above the screen, right? And from the middle of the screen, from a point in the middle of the screen, right? Let's make this, let's get rid of this -250 and see it, right? That's one effect, right? Let's make the height 50, make it smaller. See it, right? So it's like they're forming just here, right? Just they're forming, you can see they're forming here, which makes it spread a bit more, right? So this is basically what you are trying to do. One thing I'm going to do though, let's go to our emitter cell, right? Confetti type, right? Let's make the width of this, let's double it, right? 16, and height is going to be 10. Are we going to tell a difference? Because I'm afraid that if we do this, then we put hearts and triangles, we're not going to be able to tell the difference, right? Okay, this is a lot bigger, right? So these ones, you can tell them apart. They're a bit more larger, I believe. So it's easier to tell them apart, right? So yeah, or is it too, let's go, this is going to be, let's say 12 by 8. They're a bit too big. The other one is too big. This one is too, no, this one is too big. The other one is too small. So, okay, for now, that's what it's going to be, right? Now, the next thing, we only have one type of shape, right? Let's have, let's add a triangle, right? So we come here and we say, case, wait, we need to change it. Where do we, I think it's in the constants, right? Extensions, constants, right? Triangle, right? So let's add a triangle. And then we add a circle, right? Because we could add a heart, but at that position, it's very hard to tell them apart, right? You could add a heart, and I'm just going to include in the code that you can use to add a heart, but it's not, it doesn't, you can't tell the difference, in my opinion, when they're falling like that. So you're including code. It's going to be a bit hard to tell the difference, right? Okay, let's just jump here and we say case dot triangle, right? And this is just going to be, what do we return? Triangle. We're going to return core graphic rect, and this is going to be 0 by 0, and the width is going to be let's make it 12 by 12, right? And it's going to complain because we're not telling it about a triangle. Come here, hit this, fix triangle is going to be let path is just going to be CG mutable path, like so. and this is just going to be, we draw a right angle triangle dot move to, and this is going to be CG point 2, and we say CG point move to CG point, and this is going to be X is going to be image rect dot mid X. Y is going to be image rect dot min Y, like so. And we come here to say path dot add line 2, and this is going to be that, like so. And this is going to be X is going to be image rect dot max X, right? Max X image rect dot max Y, right? Come here, say max Y, like so. Come here and we say path dot add line 2, and this is going to be that, and this is just going to be min X, and this is going to be max Y, right? Okay, and then we close it. We come here and we say path dot close subpath, like so. Come here, say context dot add path, and that's the path, and we're just going to fill it. So we say context dot fill path. Okay, so now we have this. And I think we also need to call it in the, let's go to the match view controller where we are, where is it? Where we are mapping, and we say here confetti shape dot triangle, right? Is there anywhere else we need? Let's see what it looks like with triangles and that, right? Okay, let's come here, do this, and okay, now they're circles and triangles, right? They're circles and triangles and circles and triangles and circles and triangles, right? That works. Now let's add circles and circles. Is there anything you could play around with the colors? I'm going to let you do that, and you could increase, right, the velocity range, make them faster, begin time, birth rate. If you double this, you're not going to see anything, right? So if you double the birth rate, you're just going to see like it's going to look like a wall. You're barely going to see anything, right? So you see, it's so much that it's not going to be. So you try and get something that is manageable, right? Or something that you think is appreciable. Let's do that. Okay, yeah. So that's okay. That's okay, right? So that is that. And the next thing we'd want to do is let's put a circle, right? Let's draw a circle next, and then after that we can just remove it off the screen, and we can call this quits for now. Come to extensions, right? No, it's constant, right? And we have here case is going to be circle. I'm not going to draw a heart because that's a bit of drawing and you can barely tell the difference, right? So the user isn't going to be able to tell the difference much, to be honest. So you have to think of that also, right? So let's see here. Come here, say this is going to be case, oh no, confetti shape dot circle, right? Okay, that's done. What's the next one? The next one is going to be we need to take care of this confetti type, right? So let's come here. Here we're saying case dot circle, and for the circle we're just going to return for the circle we're going to return, what do we want to return? CG rect. This is going to be 0 0, width is going to be 16, height is going to be 10, right? Okay, circle, it's more of an ellipse if you think about it, right? Let's just make it 10 by 10, right? So it can be a circle, right? So that's going to be our circle, and the next switch must be exhaustive. hit a fix case circle. So what do you do when you come across a circle? When you come across a circle, you're just going to come here. It's a bit easier, just say than a triangle, right? Just going to be context, context dot fill ellipse in image rect, right? Like so, right? So we do this and we should get our circle. Let's run this, make sure everything is as it should be. Okay, come here, do this, and you can see some circles, right? I can notice some circles. I see some circles. So we now have circles, triangles, and rectangles cascading down the screen. Perfect. Excellent. Great, as it should be, right? Now, we want to remove this. We don't want it just to keep raining on the screen, right? We just want to show it for a bit. Then after we show it for a bit, we would like to remove it from the screen, right? And what we're going to do with that is after we show it, I think we could do it in the rain confetti, right? So in the rain confetti, where is it? That's where we do it, right? Come to the match view controller. And after you rain confetti, remove it after a certain period of time, right? So here, right? So come here and we say, and how we remove it is just dispatch queue, like so, dot main dot async after, and this is going to be deadline, and this is going to be dot now, like so, and to it we add 3.5 seconds, right? So after 1.5 seconds, show it, and 2 seconds later, get rid of it, right? So that's done. That's basically that. Come here, do this, come here, and then we're just going to say self dot confetti layer dot remove from super layer, right? So that's going to be that. Let's see it in action. Hopefully everything is as it should be. Okay, swipe this, have this, it rains down on us and stops, right? Keep swiping. Let's go in here like this, have this, it rains down on us, and then it stops, right? So that's basically all we need to do here. I'm not going to put in the hearts. I could add the code for the hearts because the user can't really tell, right? So the user can't really tell. The user can't tell if you add circles. Like, it's very hard to see the images, right? And if you want, you can increase the time that they are kept on the on the layer above them, the super layer. If you want to see it for longer, right, make it like 5 seconds or whatnot, right? But the main thing is that we want to, after we show them the confetti, give them a chance to either chat or keep swiping, right? So for now, chat does nothing, keep swiping just dismisses everything, right? So that's basically what we needed to do in this section. Let's keep going.